Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Lloyd and I've been on a little bit of a seed purchasing binge, mildly obsessed with gardening and plants. So my wife says. I think it's a healthy appreciation, but I'm going to go through all of the new seeds that I purchased for this year that I am really excited about. So these seeds only include things that I recently purchased. It does not include all of the seeds that I saved from last year. All of the seeds that we still have from, a packet of seeds sometimes contains hundreds of seeds, but maybe you only use a few dozen. So I still have all of those seeds saved that we'll be planting as well. And as you will soon see, I may have some trouble finding places for all of these things, but hey, that's a good problem to have. So I have arranged these seeds in the order that I'm going to be starting or sowing them. That's how I organized it, rather than by the company that I purchased them from. So we're going to kind of work our way through the calendar as I discuss all of these seeds. So the first batch right here, let me get a drink here. So this first batch right here, starting off with lemongrass. I'll have to bring this in the winter, but excited to start some lemongrass for all of the Thai dishes that I am aspirational about making. Two different types of onion, the Texas early grano and the Australian brown onion. Now these seeds and a lot of my seeds are from a company called Baker Creek. But these two onions, I got these because I learned that I need a different type of onion that has less sun, not a longer sun, longer light period onion. And I messed up last year, so my onions didn't do well because I learned that there are two different types of onion depending on how much sun you have. So if you're more northern, you want longer daylight, shorter daylight in the south, and then Marmot, Kentucky is kind of in the middle. Two types of asparagus, the Mary Washington asparagus, and then conifers, that's a weird word. Conifers colossal asparagus. So I'm going to be starting some asparagus from seed, see how that goes, because I want a very large asparagus bed, and it's going to be way cheaper if it works, starting it from seeds than buying established crowns. It will take an extra year or two to really start producing, but in the long run, it will be cheaper. And then I'm going to start some strawberries from seed. These ones I will pop in the fridge first to do some cold stratification before I sow them, but that'll be happening very soon to get these started and ready for spring. Now let's see the next batch here. All right, so this next batch are seeds that also going to be first starting inside before planting out. And these right here, next two I got from Johnny Select Seeds, but we have a Touchstone Gold Beet. My neighbor and soon-to-be sister-in-law really likes golden beets, so I'm on a mission to learn how to grow these things. And this was a variety that I read that grows well in Kentucky. So the Touchstone Gold Beet, and then the Zeppo F1. So it's a hybrid red round beet, also from Johnny's Seeds. So I'm going to try to master beets this year. Now this one came from Urban Farmer. This is an ornamental kale. I assume it's edible. I didn't actually get it to eat so much as I think they're really, really pretty. If you've never seen an ornamental kale, kind of looks like a flower that has purplish pink in the center, radiating out to green, normal looking kale leaves. So going to be growing some of these. The Green Curls container kale from Renee's Garden. This is my wife's favorite that we've grown so far. And I think this one, the triple curled kale, is what she's used to getting from the farmer's market. I've tried a few other varieties of curly kale and they haven't done as well as that container one, but I'm thinking this one may be the one that we're used to getting at the farmer's market. Now, some cauliflower, the Rober cauliflower. Gonna try my hand at cauliflower. Never been that successful with it. And then two different types of rapini or broccoli rabe. I've got the early purple sprouting, another request from my wife, some purple rapini. And then this, that is a lot of Italian. Italiana di Fasano Cima Grande. I probably butchered that. Even though I am 25% Italian, I speak 0% Italian. And then celery, Amsterdam. This is a purchase that was somewhat on a whim, which honestly maybe more of these were on a whim than should have been, but going to try my hand at growing some celery. Next batch here, also starting inside first before planting out. Looks like I got a big batch of herbs, so we'll do these herbs. So sage, broadleaf sage, slow bolt cilantro, and then I was just given cilantro seeds from a friend that gathered from her grandmother's garden. A lot of my friends are very aware of my seed obsession, so how nice that someone gave me seeds that they saved from a garden. So I'll be starting those along with these slow bolt cilantro. Thyme, no description. I guess this is just normal old thyme. Thai sweet basil. I have some seed saved as well of this, but really like the Thai basil. This was a free seed from Baker Creek. If you purchase a lot of seeds, they start tacking on free seeds. So this was one of my free seed packets, this Genovese basil. And then I got a sweet basil from a company called Everwild. And I've got some other seeds I'll show here just in a second that weren't in this box that I got from this company, because they sell a lot of very unique seeds. They've got vegetables and herbs, but to go to for some of the unique seeds I'm going to show you here in a second. But let's round out this batch. And then looks like we got a lot of things in the nightshade family here. Banana pepper, I'm going to butcher this, Hadravarski pepper. It sold me on the description. They talked about this dish that they make where this pepper is from Macedonia. That's like a dip, and I was sold on pepper dip, so that's the reason I'm growing this. Thai red chili peppers. There's a favorite dish that I have, a Thai dish, so I've accumulated all of the ingredients so I can grow all the ingredients to make one of my favorite Thai meals. So Thai red chili pepper. Dottle pepper. Got this for free last year as well. Really like these. Also saved the seeds. So I may do, for a few of these where I've saved seeds and I have new, I'm going to do a comparison where I'll plant some that I saved and some that I didn't to see how well they breed true. Some plants readily cross-pollinate, some do not. My peppers were pretty close to one another, so there is a chance where there was some cross-pollination. So I'm going to see if doing nothing, I didn't do anything to seclude the flowers to try to stop any cross-pollination for my peppers or my tomatoes. So I will be doing a little bit of an experiment to see if it had some cross-pollination with the dottles. And then ground cherry, and Baker Creek actually messed up and sent me 3 packets of this ground cherry that I did not ask for. I think I will give one to my dad, even though he scoffed at ground cherries and said that he did not like them. But if you are in the United States, and I'll have to check and see if there's any restrictions of where you can't mail these to any states. I don't think there would be. And you want these, I will pick at random someone who comments within the first, say 3 weeks. 3 weeks of this video being live, I will pick someone at random who comments and I will mail you these seeds. These new Hanover ground cherry. So comment down below and with a cherry emoji or right cherry for these ground cherries. So I'm going to set these aside right here. Ground cherries, and then Thai green frog fingers eggplant. This is for that Thai dish that I want to make. And then purple rain tomato, mortgage lifter tomato, Martino's Roma tomato. This was my favorite paste tomato, great producer, determinate variety. Only grew up to about 2.5 feet. So I made cages that were too tall, which is great because now I can just cut all those in half and have twice as many cages. So I'll have 16 cages for 16 of these tomatoes. May make more cages and have even more because these were great for sauces and salsa. My favorite tomato right here so far for that. and then a hybrid cherry tomato, the super sweet 100, and then the sun gold tomato. So, and then I also saved seeds from a volunteer tomato that was a black cherry tomato. So I'll probably only grow 1 or 2 of each of these because it's going to produce a lot if they do well. But they come a lot of seeds in the packet. So maybe growing some extras and just giving those away to friends and family. So this is the end of the things that I am starting as far as vegetables go. Before I get to these are all seeds left in this box that I'll be direct sowing outside. Let's switch gears to this deck of seeds that are mostly flowers. So these flowers will either be going out front of our house in little areas that we're trying to populate with flowers, but also in the garden as well. Flowers are very important to have in your garden because some of these are deterrents for certain insects. Some are attractors of beneficial insects, either pollinators or things like your parasitic wasp that will attack nuisance insects. So we got a lot of flowers here for those reasons. So flowers are very, very important to have in your garden. Not only things that you can just eat. You've got to have some flowers in there. I've got some wild bergamot here, and this was from Urban Farmer. Orange flame marigold, cherry rose jewel nasturtium, and I've got some other nasturtium seeds from last year. These ones are fun because they attract pollinators, they're a trap crop, and they're delicious. Nasturtium, the flowers, you can eat everything on it, and it's got a nice spice to it. 3 different types of sunflowers from Baker Creek. Got the Double Sun King, the Henry Wild, and then the Autumn Beauty sunflower here. And zinnias, got the salsa mix of zinnias. Borage, which has lovely flowers. Also, you can make teas. It's a good herb. Red swamp milkweed. And some of these right here, these flowers actually, I have already started these flowers. Got the California poppy, Virginia bluebell flower. This one needs to be direct seed. It doesn't do well with transplanting, so I need to prepare the area that I want to grow these, kind of in a forested area that we have. Purple passion flower. I don't know if it's going to focus on that. Yeah, it did. No, briefly. These have wild flowers, but also they make a tropical fruit almost that grows here in Kentucky. So excited to grow these. I will probably have to do some cold stratification for these before planting those out. Wild leeks, also known as ramps. I planted some last year that didn't come up, but they can take a while to actually come up and become established. So I'm going to be planting more of those because I hope to have several beds established in our wooded area of ramps because they are delicious. They're a wild onion in the onion family, but they're being over harvested out in the wild. So that's why I want to have my own population on our property that I can sustainably harvest. Cardinal flower, you can see again, package already open because I have these winter sown and sitting outside so they can cold stratify naturally out in the cold weather, and then they will sprout once the ideal conditions are reached, and then I'll maybe pot them up or just go ahead and transplant them out. So cardinal flower, sweet Joe Pye weed, common milkweed, so more milkweed. This one's fun, eastern prickly pear cactus. You can grow cacti in Kentucky. Well, this cacti. This is a native cactus. So I've got an area where I'm going to try to grow these just for fun interest, but you can also eat the pads and the fruits. Oh, and then I got grass. 2 different types of grass, Indian grass and little blue stem, that I'm going to plant in one area to just try out some native grasses to see how they grow. Because I've got ideas eventually to have one big area of our property, sort of a native meadow with native grasses and wildflowers and things. So those are some of the more interesting flowers and things I'm going to start that are like native ephemerals that I'm going to get going. So back to the big box here. Now these are from Johnny Seeds. These are carrots. Like beets, I'm still trying to figure out carrots, but these were two varieties that, again, someone who is a professional gardener, a farmer, they're a farmer, that's what they do for a living, they're a market gardener. They grow these with good success in Kentucky, so hopefully that they will do well for me. The Mokum F1, I got pelletized carrot seeds, and then the Bolero carrot. So I'm going to try these two carrots out, and then I got a free carrot, Corral carrot from Baker Creek, so might as well toss some of those in the ground and see how they do. And I've got other carrot seeds left over from last year. Carrots are one of the seeds that they say don't last that long, maybe a year as far as viability, but I'm going to try it out anyway. And actually, I went to a garage sale this past summer, and one of the things at the garage sale, I think it was the only thing I bought, estate sale, was a bag of old seeds. It was $1, mainly just to go through and just see what this person had grown in their own garden. Thought it was worth $1 just to look at the seeds. Big giant bag. Well, a lot of the seeds were unopened, and some of them are more than 10 years old. So an experiment that I'm going to do this year is just see the rate of germination for these seeds. I mean, they were sitting outside in a shed, so not ideal conditions, but just to compare that against some of these charts that you see online, that things like carrots and cabbages only have, a year of viability for the seed. Tomatoes, beans, and more of the hardier things only have like 3 or 4 years, depending on where you look. I don't think that that's necessarily true, so we're going to see how far I can push that and get kind of the percent germination rate. So that's one of the many experiments that I've got going on this upcoming year that you should subscribe to if that interests you. If seeing how any of this stuff turns out interests you and all these other experiments I'm going to be doing this year, be sure to subscribe so you see those videos when they come out. Peas, green beauty peas. I've had mixed success with peas so far. I think 1, my planting timing has been off, and 2, I think I need some insect cover over top of them. Not so much for insects, but to keep birds. I think birds are stealing my peas. Radishes, an Easter basket mix. Love radishes. Cucumber, Early Fortune, and then the Market More 76, which I did grow last year. Now this is red Malabar spinach. I don't think it's technically a spinach, but it is a vining plant that I'm going to grow over a trellis, but it's heat loving. So when normal salad greens are not doing well in the heat, this should be doing well. The time that I want to eat salad is midsummer, but that's the time that salad actually doesn't do that well. Salad does well in the cold, like the winter months, but that's not when I want salad. That's when I want soup and warm things, not cold leaves. I love salad, but let's be real. This is another one, a Chinese multicolor spinach. It's actually an amaranth, another heat-tolerant green. Some squash. This is the Burpee's Butter Bush. This is a bush butternut squash. That I'm excited to try that because I grew some butternuts last year, really loved them, and just actually finished the last 2 in a soup a few days ago. But this one is a bush variety, so it'll be a little bit easier to contain. Red curry squash, and then a kabocha squash from Renee's Garden. This is the zucchino. Rampacante. I probably butchered that. Rampacante. Zucchino rampacante. Just say it fast with conviction. It's a squash, but this squash you can treat like a summer squash and eat, fresh, or it will harden up and will store pretty well and use it as a winter squash. And it vines and grows really long, so this will be a fun one. Okra, the heavy hitter okra. I'm going to grow a lot more okra this year because I want to pickle okra. It's one of my favorite things, but I didn't grow enough last year to get big enough batches to justify pickling at any one time. So I'm going to grow a lot more okra so I have a big batch of okra to be able to pickle it. Black Runner beans, Cherokee Trail of Tear beans, which I also grew this past year. Bloody Butcher corn, which I did grow as well. Didn't grow enough of it. I really have aspirations of growing corn like this to be able to mill and make tortillas. Made tortillas for the first time this past week. So that's going to eventually be tortillas if all goes well. True Gold, so this is a sweet corn. Provider bush bean, so this is a bush bean. And then I thought I did, maybe I was considering these, more of a vining bean to grow on trellis. So I thought I had some vining green beans. Maybe it was just these for the dried. So maybe I'll need to add that to the list of some other beans that I need to pick up. But I don't think I have enough space of a fenced-in area because I want them behind a fence because rabbits love them. So some of these things will be in a fenced-in garden and other things will be outside because they shouldn't be bothered. And one of those, which is the last thing in my box, would be this sorghum, the Mennonite sorghum. Birds will probably beat me to the seeds for this, which is fine. I put out bird seed for the birds, so if I can plant it, even better. But I want to get a sugarcane press, is probably what I'll end up buying, but you can also use this to use it to make sorghum syrup, which maybe you've never had sorghum syrup. It is molasses-y, but not molasses, because molasses comes from sugarcane, but has this rich, dark depth of flavor syrup eaten in the South that I really like. A little goes a long way. You can't overdo it. Like I will smother my pancakes in maple syrup, but to do that with sorghum I think would be way too much. But I want to make some sorghum to try to make something to make sugar substitutes out of, or variations on sugar, because I've got this idea and dream of wanting to grow everything that we eat. It's a pipe dream because the more I have been learning about self-sufficiency and sustainability, I don't think that you can truly get it for yourself as an individual in a household. I think that is a pipe dream and a sham. You have to depend on community and have other people diversify and be the person that makes the sorghum and makes the syrup, and you trade your thing that you're known for with them. That's how we're designed to be a community where not each person is doing everything, that we diversify. But I'll want to experiment because, hey, who knows? Maybe I'll become the sorghum guy and I will specialize in sorghum. Or maybe I'll be the carrot person if I can ever figure out how to grow carrots. I don't know, but I'm still definitely in the experimental stage. What is your favorite thing to grow? What is something that has worked really, really well for you that you go back to every single year? Do you got a favorite tomato that is just a no-fail tomato? If you do, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know where you live, where your growing region is, your state, because that's very dependent. Because something that might do super well in Florida may not do well for me here, or if someone else is looking in the comments, probably not going to do well in Wisconsin. So there's a lot of variation there. So whenever you're giving advice, I think it's very important to say where you're located. I'm in Kentucky. If you want future videos from me about growing all of this stuff in Kentucky, please subscribe. My name is Tyler Lloyd, and this is my YouTube channel where I experiment and have fun about trying to live a happier, healthier, more sustainable life. See you later. Bye. Test, 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 test. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Do I have audio? Where is the audio? And test. Boop, boop, boop.